Hey everybody, it's just a little bit after 3 o'clock and we are live here on Facebook as well. A group has gathered on Zoom to meet with Nicole Hamm and her dad, Wayne Hamm. If you're on Zoom, you know to mute your microphone and use the chat box. Just a little update from the field this week. Nicole's been busy on the campaign trail. We're just about 10 days till Election Day. Early voting has begun. People are out sign waving, still lit dropping, phone banking, and we welcomed the newest member of our campaign team this week. Baby Bella joined us, one of our lead staff is a grandmother, and you can see a very well-worn campaign shirt. So Nicole Hamm is running for Jacksonville City Council, District 4. We are in the voting cycle, and I'm going to hand this over to Nicole in the moment so she can start this conversation with her dad.
Awesome. Thank you, Lisa, and thank you, Dad, for joining us today. So for those of you guys, we did something similar to this with my mother. And it went over so well that everybody was like, well, what about your dad? And I was like, you're right. We definitely need to talk to my dad. I credit a lot of my character to my father, that tenacity, that resilience, that determination. And so I'm just really excited to have him here today. And I think that we have such an interesting story that, you know, being open and honest and talking about it is really powerful, and I'm so glad that he decided to engage in conversation. So my father is not in Jacksonville; he's down south. So he's a little bit like what, before Clearwater? Hudson's a little bit before.
Just a little bit before Clearwater.
Yeah. So but he was in the military, so that's how we got here. So
yes.
Dad, talk to us about your military experience, because I was born at an
Well, it's pretty. I finished high school at 15 and a half, 16 years old. I actually started with the military. I served 22 and a half years. Been around the world 2.5 times. I have a dual bachelor's degree, one is education, and was as well as one in industrial management. My master's degree is also a dual master's degree in organizational management and human resource and development. I'm currently working with Arante Bio out of Gainesville as their lead corporate trainer. So that's it. You know, before it's the military has been great. It afforded us an opportunity to live a very humble life, and basically just put us in position where we could not only say that we value others, but we can actually put ourselves in a position where we can serve others and be very proud of what we do.
You know, I think like what you and Mommy did such a good job with is like reminding me of being of service. You know, like it was never about always Nicole, Nicole, Nicole. It was always about, Nicole, what can you do for somebody else? Or like, Nicole, share. And I'm an only child, right? So like that was something that had to really be taught to me, is like share, think about other people. And, I remember you don't know this, but I was going through all these old pictures and I found one of the postcards from when you were in Egypt, right?
Yes.
And, or it was Egypt, right? I found one of those postcards and you were talking about how to be a big girl and take care of Mommy and also take care of anybody else that's around me. And like, it kind of hit a sweet spot, because I was like, wow, that's kind of how I live my life. Like I am fulfilled by being of service for other people. And that was just, one of the things when you were on a ship and that you always brought back to us.
Yes, it's from the start, like any parent, you're always proud of your child, and there's no magic manual to say, hey, how can I be a perfect father and make sure that I embody my child with everything she needs in order to be successful. But because of our faith, because of a lot of things that we've endured, humility to me speaks in reference to one character. And you know, we started you off early doing tap, ballet, jazz, rhythmic gymnastics, and as you start to excel in each and every one, uh, you know, the one thing that we kept reminding you is, you know, is you caught on really fast. And Scott Jones kept saying, "Oh, she's catching on fast." But not only did you catch on fast, but you had the audacity to be humble enough to share with others. Hey, this is my technique. This is how I made it. So to me, it was obvious from the beginning that that foundation of humility and your ability to, you know, serve and take care of someone who may not be as strong as you are, and help them to and empower them to be all they could be. That in itself is a special gift, and that's one of the things I wanted to make sure that, you know, you had in your list of characteristics. And so I'm very, very proud. I think the position that you're running for, those characteristics will embody you in order for you to be better than most people ever can imagine. Your ability to serve, your ability to effectively listen and effectively communicate, those are what people need when you start talking about being in a political office. So, you know, we're praying that you win this thing and make a positive difference in the lives of others, and that will be a continuation of how you live your life, and that's the blessing that I wanted for you from day one.
Yeah, you know, it's so we lived in Arlington, right? We lived
Yes.
like Cypress, and you know what? I used to go to Blue Cypress summer camp, and I
Yes.
love the whole center, and we've talked about it quite town halls, like having that kind of cornerstone community center where, I mean, we were all there. They played soccer down there. They had the summer camp, the pool. I was on the swim team. You remember when I was on the swim team?
Yes. Yes. Yes, yes. We, you know, every place when it's for us looking, Jacksonville is a very big city, but we wanted to find a part of Jacksonville that we can grow and establish ourselves. And regardless of the size of the city, we were able and blessed to be a part of Arlington, which we felt it was a very positive area. It's a very diverse area, and it was an area that gave us a lot of opportunities to excel, whether it was swimming, whether it was acrobatics, whether it was actually, you know, volunteering to give back to others. So the cornerstones, you know, in which, you know, we lived in was really, really, really wonderful. And like I said, you know, one of the things that a lot of people may not realize is, you know, the environment in which you live plays a major role. So it wasn't just, you know, me and your mom. It was individuals, the church that we attended. It was our neighbors. It was just a multitude of individuals that poured into your life. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a village, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
It takes a village. And, you know, I think that I, Debbie and Paul are actually on here right now. And, like, they're kind of like my parents in Jacksonville. Like, it's so funny that both my parents are away, but, like, I have family here. Like, I've got people that I can be vulnerable with. I've got people that lift me up and hold me down and keep me accountable and grounded. And I learned what that looks like from you and mommy. And I think that's so important because when I talk to a lot of people out in the field, they're like, oh, like, where do your parents live? And I'm like, not here.
Yeah.
I've got plenty of family here, you know, but knowing what a good role model looks like because I had it was, you know, I think extremely important and also helped me understand the characteristics of people that I needed to be around. Strong, positive, you know, tenacious and it's, you know, it's nice to be on my own and be able to feel that out, especially still being young. But, you know, I remember you and mommy always said, like, you call me if you need me, but don't try to call me. Like, you figure it out, right?
Yes. Well, that's, you know, those some of the things that we felt that was really, really essential for you to be the best you. We have to, you know, we have to allow you to grow, knowing that we're never far away from you, but being away enough where we say, hey, we trust you, we love you, we understand, you know, who you are, and now go out and conquer the world. And that's kind of the way we both approached it. I can tell you without a doubt, it has not been one day that that I've ever second guessed the person who you are, or the character who you are. You have been consistently, wonderfully amazing, and to me, to know that you're humble enough to run for office and you're willing to serve and be the voice for those who cannot speak and give strength to those who may be weak. That is enough for me to say, wow. So it's a blessing to have you as a daughter. It's a blessing to see what you're accomplishing and the role that you're willing to take to accomplish even more. So keep up the good work.
Yeah, and I love so much that like we're here. We had a rough patch, right? Like we had a rough patch, and I'm so glad that we've got this very open and honest relationship now. And I think that at one point I didn't know if we were ever going to get there, but I'm so glad that we did. And I really appreciate Trudy for including me in your guys' life, as a stepmother. And I'm just glad that that experience kind of taught me how to communicate how I was feeling, acknowledge where I fell short on my end, and also the power of coming back,
Yes.
the power of reconnection, and the power of saying, hey, I only get one dad. I only
Yes.
get one. And I'm lucky enough that he's in the state, and lucky enough that I have his phone number and he's alive, and I can talk to him. So we had to do a little bit of repair there, but we've come such a long way, haven't we?
Absolutely. I think, one of the things that you said that's 100% spot on is, transparency is something. Regardless of what you go through in life, you continue to love. And I tell people all the time, when you love a person, sometimes you have to love a person enough to give him or her room to grow. We're perfectly imperfect as human beings. But what makes us different from other people is the perseverance to say, hey, you know what? Let's humble ourselves. Let's always be there for each other, and continue to love both individually as well as collectively. And then, as you mentioned, you put yourself in a position where you have individuals that you can surround yourselves. So you're being in Jacksonville, having someone where you can look at as a mother figure and a father figure. It is the same thing, even at my age, I still have individuals that I look up to and say, okay, hey, when I need fatherly advice, who do I go to? When I need a perspective from a female perspective, having Trudy in my life to say, okay, hey, I'm not sure, as a man, am I being too abrasive? Am I being too disciplined? 22 and a half years in the military, it makes you very, very structured. And I'll be the first one to tell you, I'll tell people all the time, hey, if you have to be there by 7, I'm there at 6:30, so if you're there at 7, you're late, and sometimes I caught that military bringing it home to you. And so, I was very, I hate to use the word, very rigid and very anal, because no means no and yes means yes. And I wanted to make sure that I didn't spoil you, but I also wanted to make sure that I didn't push you away. So it was very, very difficult finding that happy medium. But I think, throughout the growth, our growth, it provided the level of love that we have for one another now, which is irresistibly and unmistakably and unconditional true love, and that's what radiates. It is, like I said, it's so wonderful to just wake up and send you a text and say, hey, how's your day? What's going on? What can I do to support you? And then just be able to laugh and talk. And I think the foundation of friendship, as well as the respect for father daughter, the relationship, it's a complete package, and that's a part of our growth. So regardless of how bumpy the road was, we went through it and it smoothed out.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I invite anybody that may have had that type of break in relationship to just reach out. I think it took um, I always accredit yoga for so many things, but like it really took, taking a step back and realizing, okay, what is this, and what does this look like, and am I happy with it, and what are the opportunities? And the opportunity was like, I have a father that I can reconcile with, and I was willing to do that, and willing to figure out how to put the pieces together. And if anybody watching this is in that position, like, I invite you to just take a step back and see where your opportunities are, and see where you can create something new, um, to really find that connection again, because it is meaningful. It is nice to know that, like, I can drive down when just to see you and just to hang out, and that I'm included in Christmas, and I'm included in all of these other things, and
Yes.
did, like, go to your 60th birthday and surprise you, and, like, it's amazing. Like, it, I invite anyone that's having that struggle to just take a step back and see if it's something that you want to explore. And if it is, explore it, because it's made me a lot better as a person. And I'm glad that where we are, it works for both of us.
Absolutely, and it's not just you; it's both of us. Resiliency is such a special component, and although we all have a high degree of resiliency in us, a lot of times we just fail to take to say, okay, hey, I'm gonna step out on faith and and see what happens. Uh, as strange as it may sound, change is something most people fear because we get comfortable in our zone. So to be able to step out our zone and say, hey, I'm going to step out and do something that may not be as comfortable for me as I like, it is wonderfully amazing. And the results is, I tell everybody my relationship with my daughter is as strong as it ever could be, and stronger than I can ever imagine. There was nights that, and days that I wanted to reach out, and I kept saying no. I have to. I would pray and say, okay, hey, allow God to move in our lives, and knowing that we can stand on our faith, and we can reunite, and we can become strong. And now looking, I'm like, wow, my little baby girl is now a grown woman running for political office, who I feel that has a strength of 7 individuals, and it just makes me smile both internally as well as externally. So there's no question in my mind that you're going to do an outstanding job, and no matter what you do, and no matter the people you touch, you're going to leave a very positive impact. And and that was my blessing from from day one. So like I said, just continue to grow, continue to move forward, continue to be the best Nicole that Nicole can be, and watch how things align, and then just take it from there.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't. Do we have any questions, Lisa?
Well, we do. Some heartwarming messages are coming in from a gentleman named Paul. He's saying, Mr. Hamm, from one father who is a huge fan of your daughter to another, I would just like to say good job. I am proud of her, and I can only imagine how proud you are.
Yes.
Yeah, and another question that came in is, Mr. Hamm, what's the most important message, in your opinion, that you feel you successfully delivered to Nicole while growing up?
Wow, that's I would say it's a hard one, but in honesty, it's not. We've always wanted her to have a high degree of humility, um, to be able to say, hey, you know what, it's never about me, but to be able to serve, and I use that word very, very strong, to be able to serve somebody else, to be able to say, hey, you know what, I have so much in my heart that I'm willing to put myself second to someone else, whether I know them or not. And Nicole has mastered that throughout the years. I continue to see it grow. Her desire to be successful whether it's in politics or whether it's, in her job, her desire to connect with individuals and show them that, hey, it is never about one's color. It is always about one's heart, and to be vulnerable enough to open her heart and share her heart with someone else. And to me, that's my Nicole, and so I'll keep that part.
That's beautiful. Thank you. We're close to our time. Getting some comments coming in of, thank you, wow. Another person named Debbie is saying that she's really proud of Nicole as a friend, and can only imagine how proud you are to have her as your daughter. So I want to start a screen share and kind of shift for a moment because we're almost out of time. I would love to invite everyone to volunteer if you're interested for Nicole's campaign for City Council. We are in early voting. November 3rd is right around the corner. How you can volunteer is you can sign wave, you can lit drop, you can phone bank. And as well, to do any of those volunteer activities, all you do is go to the website, NicoleHamm.com. You fill out one of the forms on the website, either the contact form or the volunteer application. You can also still donate. We have a few more days left to donate, right, Nicole? And then doing either of those will get you the weekly newsletter. So do vote for Nicole Hamm by November 3rd, Election Day. And I'm going to stop the screen share and just hand this back to Nicole for a final farewell.
Yeah, well, Dad, thank you for being here. And hey, Trudy.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Trudy, everybody. But just thank you. And like I said, I'm glad that we have the relationship that we have now. And I feel very blessed and very grateful. And if you want to come up here for Election Day, you're more than welcome to come. So,
Thank you.
But I'm excited. I'm honored, and I look forward to getting through these next 9 days and then powering through the rest of the year and many more, and being up to something bigger than myself and being of service. So thank you so much.
You're more than welcome, sweetie. We wish you well. Like I said, it's no question in my mind. You're going to be successful, and just embrace everything you do. Continue to surround yourself by positive people, and just never forget, the value of touching one's heart and allow someone to touch your heart. So whatever we could do, just know that we're one phone call away. It's so easy for us to jump in the car and come up there. So when you need something, just let us know. So just continue to smile, continue to make us proud, and know that we love you with all our heart.
Yeah.
Thank you. Love you guys too.
Take care, sweetie.